Welcome to Prophetic Alignment News. Today we're talking about the prophetic blood moon and a vision God gave me of meteorite impacts and a new discovery of multiple impacts that have occurred. On January 21st, 2019, I was looking out my kitchen window when I saw these bursts coming off the surface of the moon. And I thought, oh my God, has a meteorite struck the moon? And if it has, what does that mean for us here on Earth? Are we going to get struck also? What does this mean? What's going to happen? Hi, I'm Lindy Swanson, your host and guide for this prophetic blood moon meteorite strike message from God. You're going to love this. And as I'm creating this series for you, I'm also going to be turning this into an electronic flip book for you to enjoy. So look forward to that opportunity. And in the meantime, binge watch these so that you can catch up to God's purpose for this time and season. Now, you may not be aware, but maybe you are, that we just had a blood moon that has a prophetic message attached to it. It was on May 15th, 2022. However, this prophetic blood moon that just happened builds on the message of the January 21st, 2019 blood moon. And if you don't know that message, it's like going into a suspense thriller movie and missing the first 30 minutes and then sitting down with somebody and trying to get them to tell you what happened, what did I miss in the middle of the movie, or taking out the first 3 chapters of an amazing novel that just lays all the foundation for what is coming, what's building. You miss the main context. You don't want to miss this. God's message is so much fuller in the January 21st, 2019 message than the current revelation of the May 15th, 2022 revelation. So don't miss out. You've got to catch up so that you really grasp the beauty of the depth of what God is doing right now. Because this is all about you and your family and your nation and your country and how God wants to restore you and what's in store for those who do not enter into his grace and his offer of salvation and restoration. And wow, I just not even beginning to scratch the surface. So let me tell you now how I figured out that what I saw was a vision, even though it looked so very real. And let me remind you what I saw. On January 21st, 2019, I was looking out my kitchen window when I saw these bursts coming off the surface of the moon. And I thought, oh my God, has a meteorite struck the moon? And if it has, what does that mean for us here on Earth? Are we going to get struck also? What does this mean? What's going to happen? So I immediately went online and began to search to see if a meteorite had impacted this prophetic blood moon. Now, I'd heard that there was going to be a prophetic blood moon, and I thought there is no chance that a meteorite strike would have happened on a prophetic blood moon, and there not also be a meaning and purpose that is prophetic associated with that. So I began my search, and I did find that a Reddit user had discovered this meteorite impact. And I'm going to open here a window from a mind map that I was using to collect information and read to you some information from it. So the first person to see this was a Reddit user called Ahecht, A-H-E-C-H-T. He saw this when he saw a shooting star just before he saw a flash of light on the moon. So he actually saw the arrow of God pointing towards the event with his eyes. If you search online for an image of the meteorite impact, you'll see that it just looks like a little teeny tiny pin dot of light that lasts just a fraction of a second. How he ever saw that with his own eyes, I don't know. It was remarkable to me. But it was also confirmed by Jose Medito, who was a scientist who developed the MIDAS project. MIDAS stands for Moon Impacts Detection Analysis System Software. And he just had a feeling that that night there was going to be a meteorite impact of the moon. And he turned twice the number of telescopes on the moon to make sure he caught what he had a feeling was going to happen. So he had 8 telescopes trained from different locations on the moon. And he did see in 5 different video streams the same thing from different angles. And there were a number of other reports and observers that saw it or photographed it independently as well. So this was confirmed. It was also seen by or caught on the Griffith Observatory telescope. And this is amazing to me. Well, I'm jumping ahead. Okay, I'll jump ahead. So, I've been studying this for several years now because God keeps opening up new revelation. It just gets bigger, bigger, bigger. And so last week when he asked me to revisit this and make a new video about it, I was tired and I thought, well, Lord, how about if I just go to bed now and I'll start fresh in the morning? And he's like, no, I want you to look now. And so I pressed through an hour of research. And I was so sleepy, I was falling asleep at the computer several times, nodded back away, and read a little line on an article I was reading. And just as I went to close the article, the title caught my attention. And the title said, more than one meteorite impact during the total lunar eclipse of January 21, 2019? Question mark? Well, I wondered why God allowed me to see 3 meteorite impacts. And now back to why I thought this was a vision. I came to the conclusion that it was a vision. Ahab saw this at 11:41 on the East Coast. I was at the kitchen sink around 7:30 when I saw these flashes. And those flashes were so big, boom, boom, boom. Timing was such that there's no way, with the moon being bright, that I would have seen that little tiny pin dot of light against that white moon. That was impossible. Even though it was earlier in the evening and I saw this before the impact happened, I think God just set me up to go look for this once I learned that it was a meteor. For over 2 years, I've been studying this one meteorite strike and the massive message that God shared through that, through the location, through the geography, through the names, through the people after whom these features were named, the history of their lives. It has unfolded somewhat like Jonathan Kahn and the way he searches out mysteries. Or if you have watched Johnny Enlow's recent description of the horse that won the race, that came up from the rear, and the way God gave him clues and how God assigned meaning to those clues, to the horse's name, to the owner's names, and so on, then you get an idea of how God has operated with me. And right now you may even feel a little frustrated with the break from the linear progression that I had in the presentation from the first meteorite strike and why I thought that was a vision to being more than one meteorite strike. But I have to tell you, if you look at prophecy in the Bible, God was not very linear in his revelation of things. If you look at the hopscotch way he made revelations. So I guess you're just going to have to get used to the way God reveals things and the way that that kind of revelation pops into one's mind and comes out of one's mouth. So bear with me, and I'm so excited to share with you the breadth of this revelation, and I'm really excited to begin to explore what I can find out about these other potential impacts. So come join me over on hopejoyglory.podbean.com, where I will put this series up for you to enjoy as quickly as I can get this done. So God bless you. I'll see you over there. Be sure and subscribe so that you get notified of every episode as it comes out right away, because things are happening now. Don't miss a beat. Be prepared. So, let's go.